Your morning mindset shapes your entire day. So what are you telling yourself before the world tells you who you are? Every morning, you have a choice to react or to lead, to replay yesterday's fears or to create today's power. The words you speak to yourself in the quiet moments can either break you or build you. These 9 affirmations aren't just feel-good quotes. They're tools to rewire your thinking and realign your focus. Say them daily, believe them fully. Watch your life change. Number 1, I am in control of my thoughts, my actions, and my energy. This powerful affirmation is more than just a motivational statement. It is a reminder that your inner world determines your outer experience. In a world full of distractions, stress, and unpredictable circumstances, it's easy to feel like life is happening to you rather than through you. But the truth is, your mind is the command center of your life. The way you think shapes your emotions, your reactions, and ultimately the quality of your day. By consciously choosing your thoughts, you direct your focus, and where your focus goes, your energy flows. This means that every thought of confidence, gratitude, or purpose strengthens your ability to handle challenges, while every negative or anxious thought, left unchecked, can drain your power. Recognizing this is the first step toward reclaiming your sense of agency. Instead of waking up and instantly reacting to notifications, demands, or noise, start by grounding yourself in the truth that you own your mind. When you decide to think clearly, act intentionally, and protect your peace, you stop being a passive participant in your day and step into the role of its architect. This mindset doesn't ignore reality, it reshapes your response to it. Difficult situations will still arise, but your reaction becomes a choice rather than an automatic emotional trigger. Instead of saying, "This is too much," you begin to say, "I will handle this the best I can." This shift in thinking is not about toxic positivity or denying real feelings. It's about empowering yourself with awareness and control. Your actions also become more deliberate. You stop drifting through routines and start making choices aligned with your values, goals, and well-being. Whether it's how you speak to someone, what you give your time to, or how you care for your body, it all becomes a reflection of your conscious power. Most importantly, your energy, your emotional and spiritual fuel starts to elevate. When you protect your energy by being mindful of who and what you allow into your space, you begin to feel stronger, clearer, and more focused. You become less reactive and more resilient. You begin to radiate calm instead of absorbing chaos. Each morning when you say, "I am in control of my thoughts, my actions, and my energy," you are programming your mind to rise above distraction, to choose growth over stagnation, and to build a life rooted in clarity rather than confusion. You remind yourself that your peace is not for sale, that your time is sacred, and that you are not merely surviving the day, you are shaping it, leading it, and owning it from the inside out. Let this truth sink in. You are not a victim of your circumstances, your past, or the mood of the moment. You are the author of your experience, the one who determines how the story of today will unfold. You are powerful. You are in control. And every single day is a fresh chance to prove it. Number 2, I am worthy of success, happiness, and love. I am worthy of success, happiness, and love. This affirmation cuts to the core of one of the most common and quiet battles people face every day, the struggle with self-worth. In a world that constantly measures value through external achievements, appearances, or social validation, it's easy to internalize the lie that we must earn the right to feel worthy. We are taught to tie our value to what we accomplish, who approves of us, or how much we sacrifice. But true self-worth doesn't come from ticking boxes or pleasing others. It comes from within. It's not something you have to fight for or achieve. It's something you remember. You were born with it. Before the world told you who to be, what to do, or what made you enough, you existed in full worth. This affirmation is a reminder to return to that truth. Declaring that you are worthy of success, happiness, and love is a radical act of self-recognition. It's choosing to believe that you don't have to prove your value to deserve good things. It doesn't mean you expect everything to be handed to you without effort. It means you no longer doubt whether you're deserving of the life you dream of. You stop disqualifying yourself from joy because of past mistakes, failures, or flaws. You stop thinking you have to be perfect before you are allowed to feel fulfilled or accepted. The truth is you are already enough as you are. When you internalize this, your energy changes. You start showing up differently in the world, not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence. You begin to make choices that align with your best self. You set boundaries not out of fear, but out of love. You pursue your goals not from a place of needing to prove your value, but from the joy of expressing it. You stop settling for relationships that make you feel small. You stop tolerating environments that diminish your light. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. Instead, you start creating space for abundance, connection, and fulfillment because you finally believe you are worthy of it. This belief doesn't make life perfect, it makes you powerful. Even on hard days, even when you feel unmotivated or misunderstood, this truth becomes your anchor. Your worth is not up for debate. When the world gets loud with criticism or comparison, you return to your center and remind yourself that you don't need permission to be proud of who you are becoming. Saying, "I am worthy," is not vanity, it's healing. It's the antidote to years of self-doubt. It's the mindset that allows success to feel satisfying instead of empty. It's the truth that lets happiness in without guilt. It's the foundation that makes love real, deep, honest love possible because it begins with how you love yourself. Every morning when you say this affirmation, you're not just speaking into the air. You're breaking cycles, rewriting beliefs, and returning home to your truest self. You are telling the mirror, the world, and your soul that you remember who you are. Worthy. Always have been. Always will be. Number 3. Today I will focus on progress, not perfection. Today I will focus on progress, not perfection. This simple but powerful affirmation is a declaration of freedom from the unrealistic expectations we often place on ourselves. In a culture obsessed with flawless outcomes, instant results, and polished appearances, we're conditioned to believe that if something isn't perfect, it isn't good enough. This mindset leads to procrastination, burnout, and an endless cycle of self-criticism. But perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist in real life, only in curated snapshots and idealized stories. What does exist, what truly moves us forward, is progress. And progress isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's small, messy, and barely noticeable in the moment. But it's real. Choosing to focus on progress means allowing yourself to grow at your own pace. It means celebrating effort, not just outcomes. It's waking up and choosing to take one step, even if it's smaller than you hoped or not as fast as you planned. That step still counts. That step still moves you forward. By shifting your mindset from perfection to progress, you give yourself permission to be human, to learn, to stumble, to improve. You stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of yourself to begin. You start now with what you have, where you are. That's where real transformation begins. This mindset also builds resilience. When perfection is the goal, one mistake can feel like total failure. But when progress is the goal, mistakes become part of the journey. They teach, refine, and prepare you. You start seeing setbacks not as reasons to quit, but as valuable steps forward. Focusing on progress means you stop judging yourself for not being there yet and start honoring yourself for showing up today. It's understanding that consistency beats intensity, that effort compounds, and that momentum is born in the daily ordinary actions that no one claps for. It's writing one page of your book, even if it's not great. It's choosing a healthy meal even if yesterday wasn't perfect. It's speaking up even if your voice shakes. Because every small act is a vote for the person you're becoming. And that's the real win. This affirmation also helps silence the inner critic. The voice that says you're not doing enough, not being enough, not fast enough. When you adopt the progress mindset, that voice loses power. You replace it with one that says, I'm proud of myself for trying. I'm getting better every day. And you are. Progress gives you permission to breathe, to be kinder to yourself, to trust the process. It reminds you that success is not a single moment of achievement, but 1,000 little steps taken with intention. Every time you choose growth over perfection, you build a life rooted in patience, purpose, and peace. So when you say, today I will focus on progress, not perfection, you are making a promise to honor the process, to move forward no matter how slowly, and to find joy in the journey. Because forward is forward, no matter the pace. Number 4, I can handle whatever comes my way. These words are more than just a morning affirmation. They are a declaration of inner strength, a quiet but powerful reminder that no matter what the day brings, you have the ability to face it, deal with it, and grow from it. Life is unpredictable. Plans change, challenges appear, people disappoint, and the unexpected often shows up uninvited. But in the face of all that, you are not powerless. You are not defined by the chaos around you, but by how you respond to it. This affirmation isn't about pretending life is easy or denying the difficulty of what you may be going through. It's about recognizing that resilience isn't something you're either born with or not. It's something you build. One moment, one response, one choice at a time. Every time you choose to breathe through stress instead of being consumed by it, every time you choose to keep going when quitting would be easier, every time you show up despite fear or fatigue, you are building a deeper level of resilience within yourself. Saying, I can handle whatever comes my way, programs your mind to look for solutions instead of getting stuck in panic. It grounds you in self-trust, reminding you that even if you don't have all the answers right now, you have the strength to figure things out. You've already survived difficult days, heartbreaks, losses, and setbacks, and you didn't just survive them. You learned, adapted, and rose from them. That history is your proof. And the more you remind yourself of your capacity, the more equipped you become to face the future with courage instead of dread. This mindset doesn't make the challenges go away. It changes your relationship with them. Instead of fearing what might happen, you begin to believe in your ability to deal with it. You stop bracing for impact and start preparing for growth. You shift from, why is this happening to me, to what is this teaching me? That shift alone is life-changing. It turns obstacles into opportunities. It turns struggle into strength. It turns fear into fuel. Resilience doesn't mean you never feel pain, doubt, or exhaustion. It means you feel those things and keep going anyway. It's not about being unbreakable. It's about becoming flexible, adaptable, and unwavering in your commitment to rise again. When you say, I can handle whatever comes my way, you take your power back from worry, from overwhelm, from circumstances beyond your control. You step into the role of a warrior, not in a loud, aggressive way, but with quiet confidence and calm authority. You begin to meet life on your terms. You begin to believe that no matter what happens today, whether it's a setback at work, a hard conversation, unexpected news, or a personal challenge, you will not crumble. You will breathe. You will respond. You will rise. Because strength isn't something you wait for, it's something you activate. And each time you choose to face the day with courage, you reinforce the truth. Resilience is not built in big moments alone. It's built one choice at a time. Number 5, I am grateful for this new beginning. This affirmation is a gentle yet profound reminder that every single day is a fresh opportunity. An open door, a blank page, a reset button, gifted by life itself. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter how heavy the past has felt, today begins anew, and with it comes the chance to choose again, believe again, and begin again. When you embrace the present moment with gratitude, something magical happens. Your perspective shifts. Instead of waking up and immediately feeling burdened by what's missing, what's wrong, or what's uncertain, you begin to see the beauty in what is. You recognize that the simple fact of being alive, breathing, thinking, and feeling is a privilege that not everyone has today. And this doesn't mean you ignore your problems or suppress your struggles. It means you choose to acknowledge the gift hidden inside the now. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel better emotionally, it rewires your brain to focus on what's working, what's possible, and what's valuable. It's a lens that turns scarcity into sufficiency. It transforms ordinary moments into meaningful ones. When you say, I am grateful for this new beginning, you're not just appreciating a calendar day. You're recognizing the power of choice. You're declaring that you are not bound by yesterday's mistakes, heartbreaks, or regrets. You're reminding yourself that the past may inform you, but it doesn't define you. With this new morning comes new energy, new potential, and new chances to love, grow, heal, create, and become. Gratitude fuels motivation. It takes the pressure of perfection and replaces it with peace. You stop chasing the next thing and start cherishing the now. Even in seasons of uncertainty or challenge, this mindset allows you to find light in the small things. The warmth of sunlight through a window, the comfort of a morning coffee, the sound of someone you love laughing, or the simple strength of your own heartbeat. These are not small, they are sacred, and the more you notice them, the more life offers you to be thankful for. Gratitude is not passive, it's a practice, a decision you make every single day. It's what turns a quiet moment into a grounding ritual. It's what helps you forgive, let go, and try again. It's what transforms survival into thriving. When you live from gratitude, you don't need everything to be perfect to feel at peace. You already have enough. And in recognizing that, you open the door to receive even more. Gratitude is expansive. It multiplies what you value and diminishes what weighs you down. It roots you in the now, where your real power lives. So when you begin your day by saying, I am grateful for this new beginning, you're not just stating a fact. You're creating an energetic shift that aligns you with possibility, hope, and abundance. You're stepping into your day with open eyes, an open heart, and an open mind, ready to notice the good, embrace the lessons, and receive the moments as they come. And in that space, life becomes not something to endure, but something to deeply and fully experience. Gratitude truly turns what you have into enough, and often into more than you ever imagined. Number 6. My past does not define me, I define my future. This powerful affirmation serves as a reminder that you are not limited by what has happened to you, what you've done, or what you've been through. Too often, people carry their past like a heavy backpack, filled with regrets, mistakes, failures, missed opportunities, or even trauma, and they believe that these moments somehow permanently mark them or disqualify them from a better life. But the truth is, your past is a chapter, not the whole book. It's something that shaped you, not something that owns you. Your future remains unwritten, and every decision you make today is a stroke of the pen that crafts the next chapter. When you say, my past does not define me, you are releasing yourself from the grip of old narratives and giving yourself the grace to grow beyond them. Maybe you weren't at your best in the past. Maybe you were lost, hurt, confused, or simply doing the best you could with what you had. That doesn't mean you are stuck there. Growth is not about being perfect. It's about being honest enough to acknowledge where you've been, courageous enough to change, and hopeful enough to believe in what's possible. You are not the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, or even yesterday. Every moment of awareness, every act of self-forgiveness, every small step forward proves that you are in progress. You're evolving, healing, learning, and becoming. and that matters more than any past misstep ever could. This mindset allows you to reclaim your power, because the moment you realize that you define your future, not your past, you begin to act from intention instead of guilt. You stop living on autopilot, replaying old stories, and start choosing new ones. You begin to focus more on what you can control, your mindset, your habits, your relationships, your values, and less on what's already behind you. Even your wounds can become wisdom. Even your broken moments can become building blocks for something strong, resilient, and beautiful. When you shift from being past-focused to future-identified, you also free yourself from shame. Shame thrives on silence and stagnation. But when you step into growth, you dissolve shame with progress. You realize that you are not your worst day, your hardest moment, or the version of you that didn't know better. You are who you choose to become today. And that choice, repeated daily, changes everything. You don't need to wait for permission or perfection to begin again. You just need to decide that your life will no longer be dictated by what once was, but led by what can be. Your dreams, your healing, your goals, they are still valid. They are still possible. And they are still waiting for you to show up. So when you look in the mirror and say, my past does not define me, I define my future, you're not denying your history, you're honoring your growth. You're not running from who you were, you're walking toward who you're meant to be. Because you're not stuck, you're in progress. And progress is the proof that your best is always ahead, not behind. Number 7, I choose positivity, not because life is perfect, but because I am powerful. This affirmation is a bold declaration of agency, a reminder that your mindset is not a reaction to the outside world, but a conscious decision you make from within. Life, with all its beauty and blessings, also comes with its mess, unpredictability, pain, and setbacks. Waiting for everything to go right before choosing a positive outlook means you'll be stuck in a cycle of frustration and disappointment. But when you understand that positivity is not a reflection of a perfect life, but a reflection of personal power, everything changes. Choosing positivity doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending that struggles don't exist. It means refusing to give those struggles control over your emotions, your energy, and your direction. It means looking at the chaos and saying, you don't get to decide how I feel today, I do. This mindset isn't naive, it's brave. It takes strength to find light when things feel heavy. It takes courage to speak hope when you're surrounded by doubt. It takes inner power to wake up and decide to lean into optimism even when the world gives you 100 reasons to give up. And that inner power, your attitude, is your superpower. It's the filter through which you experience everything. It colors your perception, fuels your actions, and shapes the way people experience you. A positive attitude turns challenges into opportunities, delays into redirection, and failures into fuel. When you choose positivity, you're not saying, everything is fine. You're saying, I'm capable of creating something good from this, even if it's hard. That perspective gives you leverage. It helps you stay grounded when things get overwhelming. It lifts your vibration, sharpens your focus, and attracts the kind of energy and people who align with your best self. It shifts you from being reactive to being intentional. And in a world full of negativity, doubt, and fear, your positive energy becomes not just a personal anchor. It becomes a gift to everyone around you. It's contagious. It inspires. It uplifts. Choosing positivity reminds you that while you can't always control your circumstances, you can control how you show up in them. You can smile even on tough days. You can be kind even when others aren't. You can believe in possibilities even when things look uncertain. That is real power. The kind that doesn't shout, but radiates. The kind that doesn't need external validation to shine. So when you start your day by saying, I choose positivity, not because life is perfect, but because I am powerful, you're stepping into a leadership role over your own life. You're rejecting the idea that your happiness depends on circumstances and embracing the truth that your attitude creates your experience. You're choosing light over darkness, strength over fear, peace over panic, and every time you make that choice, you strengthen your emotional resilience, mental clarity, and personal empowerment. You become someone who rises not because everything is easy, but because you've decided to rise anyway. Because positivity isn't about perfection, it's about power. And your attitude is, and always will be, your greatest superpower. Number 8. I will speak kindly to myself today. This affirmation is a quiet act of self-revolution in a world that often conditions us to be our harshest critics. It's easy to offer kindness to others, to comfort a friend, encourage a stranger, or forgive someone's mistakes. But when it comes to how we speak to ourselves, the tone can quickly shift from compassionate to cruel. We replay past failures, criticize our bodies, doubt our abilities, and hold ourselves to impossibly high standards that we would never expect of anyone else. But the truth is, the voice you hear the most is your own, and the way you talk to yourself becomes the soundtrack of your inner world. When that inner dialogue is filled with criticism, shame, or self-doubt, it creates stress, insecurity, and emotional exhaustion. On the other hand, when you choose to speak to yourself with kindness, grace, and understanding, you create a safe, nurturing space within your own mind, a space where healing, growth, and confidence can thrive. Saying, I will speak kindly to myself today is not about ignoring areas where you want to improve. It's about supporting yourself through that growth with love instead of punishment. It's recognizing that you are a work in progress, not a finished product. And that's okay. You can hold yourself accountable without tearing yourself down. You can learn from your mistakes without labeling yourself a failure. Self-kindness means celebrating your efforts, not just your results. It means being proud of small wins, offering yourself encouragement on hard days, and understanding that struggling doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. The words you choose matter. I can't becomes I'm learning. I failed becomes I tried and I'll try again. I'm not good enough becomes I'm growing, and that's enough for today. These subtle shifts create massive change. They rewire your brain to seek possibility instead of fear. They soften the edges of anxiety and build resilience from the inside out. When you speak kindly to yourself, you also become more emotionally available to others. You can love more deeply, connect more authentically, and support more generously because you're no longer running on empty from self-judgment. You begin to feel at peace with who you are, even as you strive to become better. It hurts like hell to say it. It's hard work, but it's the truth that is often unexpected or perhaps needed at all. And that peace radiates outward. Choosing kind self-talk is also an act of self-respect. It's refusing to bully yourself into productivity or perfection. It's choosing to honor your boundaries, listen to your needs, and show yourself the same compassion you'd offer to someone you love. Each time you say, I will speak kindly to myself today, you're reminding your mind and body that you are safe, you are supported, and you are worthy right now. Not just when you reach a goal or prove your value. You stop being your own enemy and start becoming your own ally. And that shift, though invisible to others, is one of the most powerful forms of healing and empowerment there is. Because the way you speak to yourself sets the tone for how you live your life. And today, you're choosing to make that tone one of kindness, patience, and unconditional self-love. Number 9, I am becoming the best version of myself one morning at a time. This affirmation is a gentle but powerful reminder that personal growth is not about grand overnight transformations. It's about the steady, intentional choice to show up for yourself again and again, even in small ways. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the idea of who we want to become or feel discouraged when we're not there yet. But becoming your best self isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a lifelong journey that unfolds one moment, one choice, and yes, one morning at a time. Each day presents a fresh opportunity to take a step forward, to realign with your goals and to recommit to your values. It's not about doing everything perfectly or having bursts of extreme motivation that fade in a week. It's about consistency, about building rituals, habits and mindsets that compound over time. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to wait until you're confident, successful or perfectly healed to begin. You just need to keep showing up as you are with what you have. Because every time you choose to rise, to breathe deeply, to speak kindly to yourself, to move your body, to nourish your mind, to forgive, to try again, you are becoming. You are strengthening the inner foundation that supports the outer transformation. This mindset honors process over perfection. It's understanding that progress doesn't always look exciting. Often, it's quiet and unseen, like journaling when you'd rather scroll, going for a walk instead of staying in bed, or choosing patience when frustration feels easier. These moments may feel small, but they're not. They are proof of your discipline. They are the bricks that build your future self. When you embrace the idea that I am becoming, you release the pressure to have arrived. You create space for growth, compassion, and experimentation. You accept that you're a dynamic work in progress, and that's something to be proud of, not ashamed of. The phrase "one morning at a time" also reminds us of the power of presence. You don't need to fix everything in a single day. You don't need to solve the entire puzzle of your life all at once. You just need to focus on today, on how you speak to yourself this morning, on how you move through your routines, on the choices you make right now. Because consistency beats intensity, always. A single intense push may look impressive, but it's the small repeated efforts that create lasting change. You can show up tired, you can show up imperfect, but what matters is that you keep showing up. Over time, these daily decisions form a pattern, a rhythm of alignment between who you are and who you're becoming. And one day you look back and realize that the person you dreamed of being didn't appear in a flash of lightning, but emerged slowly, confidently, through the grace and grit of your daily choices. So when you say, I am becoming the best version of myself, one morning at a time, you're choosing a mindset rooted in patience, progress, and personal power. You're not waiting for the perfect moment. You're creating it one morning, one breath, one brave step at a time. As you carry these 9 powerful truths into each morning, remember that the way you speak to yourself sets the foundation for how you live, love, lead, and grow. Don't underestimate the power of small, consistent affirmations. The seeds planted in the soil of your subconscious, growing stronger each day you choose to believe in your worth, your strength, your healing, and your future. Life may not always be easy, but with the right mindset it becomes meaningful. So keep showing up even when it's hard. Give yourself grace, speak with compassion, and take one intentional step at a time toward the life you're meant to live. You are not defined by your past. You are shaped by your choices today. Protect your peace. Value your energy and remember that joy, love, and progress are your birthright. May your mornings begin with clarity, your days be filled with courage, and your nights end in gratitude. And as you move forward, may God guide your heart, strengthen your spirit, and bless every step you take. Amen.